Good day, YouTube. And welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today we're going to drink a beer. I didn't actually pick out which beer I was drinking yet, so one second, here we go. I've grabbed it. This beer has been sitting in my basement for a while. I kept actually waiting to drink this with the cartoon, and the cartoon kept standing me up, so I guess I'm going to have to drink it now. Devin dropped this off, so it's from Innocente. It's from their barrel series. It is Scotland the Stave, which is aged in Tennessee whiskey barrels. It's a wee heavy with spices at 35 IBU and 9.7% alcohol by volume. This wee heavy is the haggis spice wee heavy. They make an haggis spice wee heavy where they use actual haggis spices, and they just took it and they threw it in a barrel. So that's great. Let's take the Rhino sticker off here, as he was reminding people who he was giving this to. By people, I mean himself. It's hard when you... Oh, we got a little bit... a plausible little bit of infection here. The beer was bottled on the 21st of January. Today is the 10th of April, so it is almost 4 months old, and it's never been refrigerated in that 4 months. As I said, I meant to drink it several times with the cartoon, and several times I was stood up, and I kept forgetting about it. It just kept getting pushed down the line. I think this was brought to me in February, so it's been about 6 weeks of me trying to get this reviewed. So we have to do it. Dark. Wow, that's dark. It's probably looking black on the camera, but that is super ruby red. It is the darkest red I've ever seen. It does have red hues everywhere. There is a lot of carbonation moving in there. Nice off-white head up at the top. Nice snap, crackle, pop. It is a nice looking beer. And as it pours out of the bottle, I would have thought it would have been brown like the bottle, because it came off that kind of color, that look, smell. It does have a sour note to it, almost like a Brett note, just kind of sour and funky. Yeah, it has soured at least a little bit now. Here's the fun game with barrel aging. Barrels are very. I don't think I've ever had one barrel-aged beer that has not been infected ever. Even if you keep them refrigerated and all that, as time goes on, the barrels did hold some types of bacteria and stuff, and it will grow. Usually doesn't kill the beer, but it will change the beer, and over time the beer will change. Barrel-aged beers aren't beers I usually sell, or aren't beers I usually sit on. They're almost like IPAs for me. I drink them as usually within the first like 2 or 3 months, because you don't know what was in that barrel. I mean, even if the barrel was cleaned, you don't know if every ounce of the barrel was hit properly. But yeah, that smells nice though. It smells almost like it was almost has like a white wine barrel scent, not a bourbon barrel. Like Tennessee whiskey barrels usually would give off like a vanilla note, and vanilla and toffee and caramel, and like fig, almost like fig and stuff like that. And I'm not getting any of that. I'm getting this sour note and this grape note and this slightly salty note, and almost clovey and cloves and like allspice. I don't know what spices they actually use in haggis. I don't want to eat a haggis, okay? Cheers, let's drink the beer. That's intriguing. Okay. Slight tartness. Slight tartness. A little drying. The finish, we'll start with the finish because that's the easiest part to talk about. Chest warmth. So the 9.7% alcohol is felt. No throat warmth really, it's all chest warmth. I'm okay with that. Back of the palate. Slightly clovey, slightly allspicy, slightly gingery, and dry. Middle, slight tart, slight oak tannin, and a lot of roast. Both I'm going to go both from the barrel and from the wee heavy itself. Forefront, again, you're getting a little bit of that sourness. Yeah, a little bit of that sourness, a little bit of that oak, a tiny touch of grape and grape skin tannin, and some caramel. There's also a slight, almost like garlic salt taste in there. It's not a bad beer. It's not a bad beer at all. But of all the barrel-aged beers I've had from Innocente, this is probably my least appreciated one. Of all the beers I've had from Innocente, it's probably one of my least appreciated ones. Now, as I said, I don't eat haggis. Maybe if I ate haggis, I'd love the thing. I don't know. I think it's a cool beer to try. I think it's a beer everybody should try. Especially the main beer, the actual base beer, that just haggis beer, is a beer people should try. But is this a beer I want to drink again? Not particularly. I mean, I could. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little warmth, a little bit of spiciness, and a little bit of dryness. There's nothing really to it. All said and done, I would probably give this a 6.25 out of 10. I don't think it's a bad beer. I just don't think it's a beer for me. And that's perfectly fine. Thank you, Steve, for making it. Thank you, Devin, for bringing it down. It was a great drink to try and get a chance to drink. I'm going to go play some video games for Gaming with the Rhino, and I'll drink this while I'm finishing that. Thank you, guys. Bye.